Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the world's most timeless tales. Today, we're venturing into a dark, enchanting forest to revisit one of the most famous stories ever told by the Brothers Grimm, Hansel and Gretel. This isn't just a simple children's story, it's a powerful narrative of survival, intelligence, and the unbreakable bond between siblings, rooted deep in European folklore. The story was first published in 1812, a time of great famine and hardship in Europe. This historical context adds a layer of chilling reality to the tale, transforming it from a mere fantasy into a reflection of real-life struggles. It explores profound themes that resonate even today: the terror of abandonment, the fight against overwhelming odds, and the triumph of good over evil. It's a story that has been passed down through generations, not just to entertain, but to teach valuable lessons about bravery and resilience. Let's meet our heroes. First, we have Hansel, the older brother. He's not just protective, he's incredibly clever. Faced with the terrifying prospect of being lost in the woods, he's the one who comes up with the plan to drop pebbles to find their way back. He's the quick-thinking strategist of the duo. Then there's Gretel, the younger sister. While initially portrayed as more fearful, her character undergoes a remarkable transformation. She is the heart of the story, and her resourcefulness and courage ultimately save them. Gretel proves that bravery isn't about the absence of fear, but about acting in spite of it. Of course, no fairy tale is complete without its villain. And the witch in Hansel and Gretel is one of the most iconic antagonists in literature. Living in a house made of gingerbread and candy, she represents the ultimate temptation, a sweet allure that masks a sinister danger. She is the personification of predatory evil, luring the innocent and vulnerable into her trap. Finally, we have the parents. The father, a poor woodcutter, is a tragic figure. He loves his children, but he is weak-willed and easily manipulated by his cruel wife, the stepmother. The stepmother is the catalyst for the entire ordeal. Driven by selfishness and a cold heart, she convinces her husband to abandon the children in the forest to save herself from starvation. Her character serves as a stark warning against selfishness and cruelty. The story begins in a humble cottage where a terrible famine has gripped the land. The family is starving, and the cruel stepmother devises a wicked plan. She tells her husband they must take Hansel and Gretel deep into the forest and leave them there, because there isn't enough food for everyone. The first time they try, clever Hansel overhears the plan. He gathers shiny white pebbles and drops them along the path. The moonlight illuminates the stones, and the children are able to follow the trail back home, much to their stepmother's fury. But their relief is short-lived. The famine worsens, and the stepmother insists they try again. This time, the door is locked, and Hansel can't gather any pebbles. All he has is a slice of bread. As they walk deep into the woods, Hansel crumbles the bread and leaves a trail. But alas, the birds of the forest, hungry themselves, eat every last crumb. When night falls, Hansel and Gretel are truly lost, alone in the vast, dark forest. For days, they wander, growing hungrier and more desperate. Just when they feel they can't go on, they stumble upon the most magical sight: a small house built entirely of gingerbread, cake, and candy. Starving, they don't hesitate. They begin to break off pieces and eat. As they feast, a sweet voice calls out from inside: "Nibble, nibble, little mouse, who's that nibbling at my house?" An old woman emerges, appearing kind and welcoming. She invites them inside, promising them a warm bed and a delicious feast. The exhausted children, seeing a glimmer of hope, happily agree. But the old woman's kindness is a facade. She is a wicked witch who built the candy house to lure children so she could cook and eat them. The next morning, she throws Hansel into a cage to fatten him up and forces Gretel to be her slave. Each day, the witch, whose eyesight is poor, tells Hansel to stick his finger out of the cage so she can feel if he is plump enough to eat. But clever Hansel outsmarts her by holding out a small bone instead. The witch, frustrated that he remains so thin, eventually loses her patience and decides to eat him anyway. She orders Gretel to light the oven, planning to push her in and cook her too. Gretel, trembling with fear, but filled with a sudden surge of courage, realizes this is their last chance. She pretends not to understand how to check if the oven is hot enough. "Show me how," she says innocently. The impatient witch grumbles and leans into the oven to demonstrate. In that split second, Gretel shoves the witch with all her might, slams the iron door shut, and traps the evil witch inside. With the witch gone, Gretel frees Hansel from his cage. They discover chests full of pearls and precious stones in the witch's house. Filling their pockets, they flee the cursed place and, with the help of a friendly duck, cross a river and find their way out of the forest. Miraculously, they recognize the path leading back to their home. Their reunion with their father is a moment of pure joy and relief. They learn that their cruel stepmother has passed away during their absence. With the witch's treasure, their worries about poverty are over. The family is finally reunited, and they live happily ever after, their love and resilience having conquered all the darkness they faced. So, what can we learn from this enduring story? First and foremost, Hansel and Gretel teaches us that courage and intelligence are powerful weapons against danger. Hansel's cleverness with the pebbles and the bone, and Gretel's ultimate act of bravery, show that even the smallest and seemingly weakest individuals can overcome the greatest threats when they use their wits. The story is also a beautiful testament to the power of family love and teamwork. Hansel and Gretel consistently look out for each other. Their bond is their greatest strength. They face every challenge together, and it's this unity that allows them to survive. It's a powerful reminder that we are stronger together than we are alone. And, of course, there's the clear moral that evil and greed ultimately lead to their own downfall. Both the cruel stepmother and the wicked witch are consumed by their own selfishness. Their wicked plans backfire, and they meet their just ends, reinforcing the timeless theme that good will always triumph over evil. The cultural impact of Hansel and Gretel is immense. It has inspired countless adaptations in literature, opera, theater, and film. The image of the candy house has become a powerful symbol in storytelling, representing the idea that things are not always as they seem, and that danger can hide behind a sweet facade. The forest, too, is a classic symbol of trial and transformation, a place where characters get lost only to find their true strength, decades, even centuries later. Why do we keep telling this story? Because Hansel and Gretel is more than just a fairy tale. It's a story of hope. It assures us that even in our darkest moments, when we feel lost and abandoned, we have the inner strength to find our way back to the light. It's a timeless narrative about resilience, the power of a loving bond, and the comforting certainty that goodness and courage will always prevail in the end. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the woods. What are your favorite lessons from Hansel and Gretel? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss our next deep dive into another classic story. Until next time, stay curious.